Just another quick vid to show how you can drain your fuel tank if you ever make the mistake of putting petrol in your diesel car or diesel in your petrol. This is just a quick video on what you can do to help yourself. Okay, so the first thing you've got to do is gain access to your tank. The tank is located underneath the rear seat. You can gain access by lifting them up, as you see I'm doing here. It'll just be wedged in, and it's got a hinge at the bottom, so this is what it's made to do. Once you've lifted it up, if you just lift a little bit of carpet, the covering carpet, you'll see that black cover, that black sealed cover. This is where the tank sender, the fuel sender, is located. So the next thing to do really is to remove that casing and gain more access to the actual sender itself. Okay, to gain access to the sender unit itself, it's all simple stuff here. It's only 3 Phillips screws, and they're very short thread. Sorry. Once you've removed that, the cover, this black cover, which actually covers the seal itself, is pretty easy to come off. So just do the basics, take the screws off, and make sure you got them so you can put them back after. After you've removed the screws, it's just about easing it up. Like you say, it's really simple. It's got a rubber sealed gasket around it, but it's pretty easy. My one's particularly dirty. I think it was involved in some water damage at some stage, so that is like silt. But as you can see, the connectors are there. It's pretty simple stuff. A fuel return and supply hose. The VW clip, which you've got to ease up. Be careful not to break it. Clips up. And these have got a pressing mechanism, lock-in sort of system. So once you pushed it in, it's just pushing it in and easing it up. And it really is as simple as it looks. Same with the return or the sender. It's all easy, very, very simple stuff. Nothing hard here. Now for this part, you're going to need the hammer and chisel. This is the part where you actually remove the locking screw that locks the fuel sender in its place. Now be careful not to damage the locking screw because it is only plastic and the chisel is a chisel. So take your time, be patient, and continue to knock it in an anti-clockwise motion. Keep on until it's easy enough to release it by hand, you know, and like I said, keep patient because you don't want to break it. It's only going to be a hassle to you to replace it. And obviously dealing with fuel and all the rest of it, this really needs to be in tip-top condition for your own safety and everyone else's. So once you've got it to a hand-tight position, you can just lift it off like this, as I'm doing right now. Job done. I made an effort to clean mine up because I didn't want no extra debris going into the tank. But yours shouldn't be like this, so this is just a precautionary measure. Once it's removed, you can just lift it up, but be careful because this is full of fuel. In a minute, you're going to see the mistake that I actually made. Take your time and lift it out. That whole container actually holds fuel, so be careful and don't make the mess like I did. Fortunately, this car's for braking, so I'm not affected as much, but if you're going to do it, make sure you take your time and ease it out slowly because the smell of diesel in your car is not nice. So learn from my mistakes and don't do the same thing I did. Once the fuel sender is removed, you can now gain full access to the contents of the tank. So at this stage, you would feed your hose in to start draining off whatever you don't want. We use this drill-powered water pump. They're readily available. You can buy them from most places. So once we bought this drill pump, we got some hose, some garden hose, some normal standard garden hose. Cut it to the size that we needed to. Once we cut it to the size we needed to, we fit it up. Really simple. We use the fittings. The fittings aren't necessary. I found out later the fittings aren't necessary, but you know, it's life and that's what happens. So we tighten it up. As you can see, I'm doing it. Really basic. Now it's important that these connections are fitted on tightly so that the vacuum can be maintained. So as you see, I'm really forcing it in there, and I will be screwing that thing on extra tight to get a good grip on the hose. Once we had our pump set up, we slide the hose to the bottom of the tank so we can start draining it out. Just make sure it's actually sitting on the bottom and not picking up in the air, because this pump usually needs to be primed first. Then it was just a matter of using our cordless drill and start draining off whatever was in there. You can see. Unfortunately, we ran out of camera battery, so I was unable to show you the actual diesel going into the tank itself. But this is how easy it is, and you can save yourself a lot of money and heartache just by doing it yourself. So I hope you enjoy the videos. Please comment, rate and subscribe. It's always appreciated. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you.